Good morning and welcome to AppRiver's YouTube Live, our second ever live broadcast. I'm Jim McClellan, and I'm here with David Pickett, one of our cybersecurity analysts. David and his team see millions and millions of spam messages every day and block them so that you don't have to see them. And trust me, I've seen some of them and you don't want to see them.
No.
David's job is to kind of dig deep into these spam campaigns to see what's making them tick, to see where they're going, what they're targeting, and what kind of damage they're causing. This morning we're going to talk about Office 365. Office 365 is a very widely used platform, probably the most popular Office business application platform in the world at this point. But one of the questions, especially for partners and for IT admins, is whether the security that's baked into Office 365 is really enough. David, you and your team have been seeing some threats here lately that bring that into question, right?
Oh, definitely. Day in, day out, we see thousands upon hundreds of thousands of scams and actively blocking them nonstop, around the clock, 24/7. Office 365 users in particular have been very targeted lately and compromised heavily. We've seen 3 different major attacks being perpetrated by threat actors and cyber criminal groups that we're going to hit on here. The business email compromise scams, number one, right now coming from every direction. These scams have 2 purposes. One is credential theft, so they can perpetuate their scam further through different users, but the end goal is wire transfer fraud.
Yeah. I believe we have one pulled up on the screen.
We do. This is an example of a wire transfer request to a company to change their information, their banking information on where they're going to route payments and stuff. So this was actually from a compromised user. The bad guy sent this, and the recipient actually ended up wire transferring to this bank account and lost over $100,000 in this scenario. So
wow,
that's a big one.
Wow.
So the business email compromise ones are vastly increasing lately. They've really been ramping up.
And these are things you're seeing that, like this morning, right? This isn't something that's happened a long time ago and is now stopped. This is still going on right now.
Definitely. While we talk here, there's going to be thousands of these caught by the filter. Okay. The next one I'm going to hit on is Emotet. This is a cyber criminal organization that's been around since about 2014, sending the Emotet malware, and they've been evolving it. It's a little bit different. It has, as this example shows, a generic type of link. The links are compromised WordPress websites. They lead to a document download, which will then, if the user enables that content and clicks on it and opens it up, that's going to download the Emotet malware. From there, Emotet has a worm component to it that will spread laterally throughout the networks. It's very malicious. It's cost hundreds of millions of dollars to businesses and schools and cities even. So it's a very, very bad one, but it's very simple. All these are usually from someone you know. They're your trusted contacts, people that, you know, their guard is down. It's not just from some random Gmail account, Yahoo account, AOL, you know, from the free email services. These are compromised users that's sending these unknowingly to other contacts.
Okay. And then our third, and perhaps the scariest of the 3, let's talk about the conversation hijacking.
Sure. The conversation hijacking attacks, we lovingly internally call them CHAs. So the CHAs, we see those nonstop. In fact, I looked this morning, and we're going to cross 50,000 for the past couple weeks here. So they're very tricky. They are from a known contact as well, and they do have a malicious document downloader attached to them. The one that I checked this morning, and the ones that we typically analyze, drop down the GOSI banking malware sniffer. So it will steal financial information as well.
So now, we've talked about this before, but these could be an email that comes from this could be an email that comes from your CEO, because someone has gotten inside of Office 365, inside the security wall, hacked their way in, and now they are responding, maybe even in a thread, a conversation thread that has been going on, and they're responding as though they are another user on the network, correct?
Correct. They've infiltrated the credentials of these accounts, and they're literally responding to previous conversations that they've had with these contacts. So that trust is there. Some of these are pretty old conversations they're replying to. This example conversation was from June 12th of 2017, but this malicious document came in a couple days ago, and so they're scraping the contacts and replying back to them. So it could be a CEO that you've talked to yesterday, or it could be an external contact from months or even years ago.
Now, that's scary to me, because if you, as a cybersecurity analyst, if I got an email from you telling me download this because it's needed to protect the network, I would do it without a second thought, and I think most people would.
Correct. Most users they don't realize this is very generic, and sure, it just says please see attached and confirm. So there's not really much there to raise red flags. So watching URLs on the previous two is key, but these types, they're very tricky and hard to detect.
All right, now I want to bring up something without sounding too salesy here, but there's a reason that AppRiver is catching these emails, though Office 365's native security is not. Can you, without revealing any secret sauce, can you tell us why that might be?
Well, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Our strength, AppRiver started out with our secure tide filtering. That's our bread and butter. We've been developing this for many years.
16 years.
Yeah. So we have over 60, close to 70 different filtering tests. Proprietary, many of them, that when we see a need to fill in an area as far as filtering goes, we'll create that test. We'll have our developers create it.
But now, a larger point though here, I mean, just beyond AppRiver, what this raises is, if you have Office 365, if you're using Office 365, then it makes sense, whether it's AppRiver or someone else, it makes sense to build security in layers, correct?
Definitely. Layered security, defense in depth. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. This goes into firewalls, spam filters like SecureTide. SecureSurf is our web filtering product. We have end-to-end email encryption. Then you talk about hardening computers on a network access controls, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention systems, endpoint security. The list goes on and on as far as defense in depth.
Well, and part of that defense, one of the things you guys tell us all the time, and that we've heard from network admins, from our partner community, the most vulnerable part of any network is the person, people, the employees. Okay. So what are the takeaways for the viewers here? We've talked about defense in depth. What are some other things that you need to take away?
Definitely the layered security is number one. Trusting known contacts. I hate to say it, but trust isn't always implied or granted. I'm suspicious every single email I receive, to be quite honest. But number one is look for some of those URLs.
So when you get an email from the CEO and you go check it out, explain to him you're doing it for his or her own good. So.
Look for those suspicious URLs. That's a #1 tip-off for most of these, with the exception of the conversation hijacking attack. But if you feel that something is suspicious, don't click on it, don't open it, run it by your security professionals that can test these things in a safe environment.
All right. All right. Well, David, thank you very much, and thank all of you for watching today. That's going to wrap it up for us, but I want to let you know that we do have a free white paper available. It'll be in the description under this video. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section of the video. We'll try to answer them as quickly as we can. Follow us here on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. I think we'll have those links up as well.
blog.appriver.com.
I forgot to mention that. These guys don't keep this a secret. We do have blog.appriver.com, where David and his colleague Troy Gill and several our other security analysts post very helpful information frequently. So bookmark that and check it out.
Definitely.
And join us again next time. Thank you very much.